There is way too much going on. We're in desperate need of some chocolate cake. We're gonna be trying the Birch Vendors chocolate cake mix. Wholesome, delicious, organic. I once tried a pancake waffle mix from this company and it was way too wholesome and organic. But I firmly believe that everyone deserves at least a second chance, so we're giving this a shot. Just looks like cocoa powder. On the other hand side, I have a cold in the middle of summer, which is actually quite a common thing for me. I'm never sick in winter, it's always summer. But then again, let me correct, I had a cold, because judging from how I'm feeling today, it's gonna be gone by tomorrow or after tomorrow, so we're okay. We just have to add 3 large eggs, oil, and water to this. Sometimes baking mixes genuinely scare me. Now, I rarely make baking mixes for cakes just because I love homemade cakes from scratch. And often enough, the small amount of actual ingredient that you have to add to these scares me. Like how much chemistry is in this package that this actually turns into an enjoyable pastry. We're not gonna question it, it's wholesome and organic, so I'm sure they have a clean slate. Wait a second, before we get into this, I actually need a snack. One of my current favorite snacks, if not borderline obsessions, is roasted garlic hummus. I've always loved hummus. I love Middle Eastern food, Middle Eastern flavors, but I came across this roasted garlic hummus from Whole Foods and wow, I have been obsessed. I thought this was gonna be way too intense at first, even though I'm a garlic lover, but it's literally everything you want it to be. And then with my European rosemary crackers, if you've seen any of my other snacking videos, you're well aware of what this thing can do. It is literally the perfect snack. I mean, look at this. It's just normal hummus, but the flavor, Okay, now let's get back to making this cake. I have enough strength now. We're mixing this by hand just because it's not as messy, and wow. I mean, I do understand why people make baking mixes. There's just a huge convenience factor, especially if you don't have enough time. You probably tell yourself that this is what a homemade cake is. You know, if you're telling yourself a lie long enough, you start believing it. So, there you go. Perfect example, I'm living the lie. No, I think at this point we all know I love baking, I can bake, and I can allow myself to prioritize convenience once in a while. We're obviously not gonna add vegetable oil or butter to this because, hello, we're trying to do this as healthy as possible. We're adding my go-to coconut oil, which I love. You probably just heard it splash. I'm sorry that I did that off camera. But it's in there. Let's carefully mix it around. And while I'm mixing this around, let me get into something that has genuinely been on my mind lately. Now, the only reason why I don't feel like a complete criminal bringing this up in a video that's posted in summer is because according to the internet, Halloween and the Thanksgiving season is next in line after 4th of July for all the stores to stack up decorations and little seasonal products. So, all the stores here in the US are stacking up on Halloween products as we're speaking. I think this all started a month ago, but I don't remember the last time I was as excited for Halloween as I am right now. The oven is ready. Now, I don't consume a lot of social media, but a couple weeks back, my feed started to fill up with these super aesthetic and nostalgic Halloween and autumn videos, photos, articles, recipes, whatever you can think of. And with the time, it started to grow on me, and it showed me a side of that season that I haven't been confronted with in the longest time. Hold that thought. Let's add the egg whites. Of course, I beat them up because we love the Cody fluff. Anyways, I am extremely excited for Halloween, so I looked into this because I thought it was pretty concerning, considering it's the middle of summer. But this is actually a quite common thing, and it's called Summerween. Now, Summerween, as far as my research has reflected, originally comes from an episode of Gravity Falls, which I've never seen, and it's about them celebrating Halloween in summer because they're excited and whatever. Well, I wouldn't want to be celebrating Halloween right now. I'm just saying I'm really excited for the season to come because to me it's related to a lot of coziness and comfort. And to be honest, I think there's a very deep connection subconsciously to my childhood. Growing up, Halloween used to be my favorite holiday. Even though Santa Claus was still a thing, Christmas could go pack up, I was obsessed and looking forward to Halloween. And then as I got a little older, I started to prefer Christmas, and Halloween kind of turned into this whole high school contest of who is wearing the sexier outfit, what Halloween party am I going to be invited to, and it was all about how can I make the most of this holiday holiday in terms of what other people are gonna think of me. It no longer was about this magic that's related to ghosts, pumpkins, witches, and all these, stereotypical elements. So being confronted with this on my feed kind of brought all of that back to me, and I haven't felt this way about Halloween for as long as I can remember. And when I say that Halloween was my favorite holiday when I was younger, it really was. I had Halloween books. And I don't mean scary stories. I had Halloween books about how to garnish food in a spooky way, how to decorate in a certain way. Of course, I already went down into our garden in September and started decorating everything for hours and hours every week. And of course, I hosted Halloween parties. That was always my call, and it was something I planned for literally the entire year. So Halloween really was my favorite holiday growing up. It was just so magical and cozy and comforting, and I feel like I haven't made the most of it and reminded myself of how nice this time of the year can be ever since I turned, I don't know what, like 12. Okay, here's our chocolate cake. I don't know if you can see this, but we're putting it into the oven. I just feel like autumn really is the best time of the year. On one side you have Halloween and Thanksgiving, on the other side Christmas is close but still far away to appreciate it enough. Because the problem I have is that I do look forward to the holiday season, but once it's actually there I couldn't care less. And the sad part is probably also right now, even though I am so excited for Halloween, I won't care as much as I think I will right now when the time actually comes. But I already started making a list of things I want to do this fall to really embrace the season. I want to definitely start experimenting with pumpkin puree. There is so much. Let me touch on a couple of topics. For once, there's baking. I have never baked with pumpkin spice or pumpkin puree, which is what I think you use most of the time here in the US. And I don't understand why, because I love the flavor of pumpkin and cinnamon in a nice pastry. I love it. I love it when I feel like there's a pumpkin patch in my tongue and all these autumny flavors are having an orgy in my mouth. It's amazing. Then on the other hand side, there are all these adorable Halloween movies that I never get to watch. Not because I don't want to, but because I actually barely have the time to consume television. But some of my favorites are Coraline, Hocus Pocus, The Nightmare Before Christmas, to name a few. I just want to make the time to really watch these movies because they're all under 2 hours and allow myself to take a breather and really realize that it's autumn. Also, I don't remember the last time I carved a pumpkin. I do have to say it was always a bit of an exhausting task, but I might give it a try again this year. I want to visit a pumpkin patch. There's plenty of those here in the US. I don't know about the West Coast. I am in California, and I know that October is gonna look like July right now, which is a bit unfortunate, but maybe I get to visit the East Coast during that time. I know that there's plenty of pumpkin patches on the East Coast. However, if I find one here on the West Coast, I will make sure to visit it. I want to go on autumn hikes. And yeah, like I already said 100 times, I just really want to appreciate the season. That's why I'm already working on organizing that time of the year right now. Now, like I said earlier, this is something called Summerween. And I did my due diligence, and there's actually an entire spooky community, that's what they call themselves, and they celebrate Halloween all year round. They never take down their decoration. They watch these movies and do these recipes all the time. Now, I don't think I could do that because that takes away the magic and the special value of it. That's the same way if you would celebrate Christmas all year around, it wouldn't feel special anymore, so I could never do that. Besides that, one step at a time, hold your horses. I'm gonna be just as excited as I am for Halloween to come. I'm gonna be just as excited for it to go again. But yeah, there's a whole spooky community. No judgment if you're a part of that, but I could never do that. Maybe there's also a whole Christmas community. I don't know. These holiday communities, it sounds almost like a cult, and that scares me. So I'm taking a step back from that, and we're gonna label what I'm going through as excitement for the holiday season, because that's all it is, really. You can probably argue that what I'm experiencing and laying out right now about that time of the year might be a little concerning as well, but it has brought me nothing but joy up until now, so I don't see the problem. But I hope you enjoyed this somewhat random upload. Like I said, I'm genuinely excited for autumn, but I'm also really enjoying the summer right now. And I do think we need all the seasons to appreciate the ones that aren't currently happening right now. And we're gonna hold on to that thought until next time. Thank you so much. See you soon and take care. Bye.